What is actually an estimate? Basically, if you are constructing something, the owner should know a few things. So before starting any project, a client or a contractor should know what is the quantity of work that needs to be done, and if that quantity of work, if they know, then they can set up some budget. So the before taking up any work, the owner should have a thorough knowledge about volume of work that can be completed in his budget. So let's say one contractor is having a budget of 5 crore rupees, and that 5 crore rupees he want to build something, and for that he have 2 3 options. So he has G plus 7 structure, G plus 5 structure, G plus 10 structure. So you want to build something out of it, but if I make a estimate, then I will be able to find out what I can build in this 5 crore rupees. So G plus 7, if it is taking, if I have prepared the estimate, and for G plus 7 structure it is taking, let's say, 10 crore rupees. For G plus 10 structure it is taking, let's say, 5 crore rupees, and for G plus 10 structure the cost will be, let's say, 15 crore rupees, 15 cr. So from estimate, if we prepare the estimate of G plus 7, G plus 5 and G plus 10 structure, so from estimate we can find out what is possible to be built in our particular budget, where our budget is 5 crores, and from the estimation we can select the scope of a particular project. So here we have decided to construct G plus 5 structure, as this budget or this estimate fits in our budget. So this is 5 cr is our budget, and the estimate of 5 crore is fitting in this particular budget. So we will go for G plus 5 structure construction. Okay, so basically estimation is calculating the quantities and the cost of various items of food. Estimate is not just about the cost. Wherever the cost is involved, you will have to calculate the quantities also. So in particular project, as we discussed previously also, there will be various types of activities which are involved. So let's say some RCC structure is there, RCC residential building is there. So in this RCC residential building, various activities will be there. So excavation, PCC, RCC, brickwork and plastering, finishing. So various activities will be there. And if we know the quantities of each and every item of work, so excavation, let's say unit is meter cube, PCC again meter cube, RCC again meter cube, brickwork is also measured in meter cube, plastering work is measured in meter square, and finishing work, different types of finishing work, it will depend which kind of finishing we are providing. So it will depending on scope of work. So we can find out the quantity of each and every item of work from estimate. So if we know the quantity, let's say some quantity we know, and the rate also we know. See how much is the cost for excavation of 1 meter cube of soil, or how much is the cost for PCC work of 1 meter cube of soil. So if we know the quantity, if we know the rate, then we can find out the cost. So we just have to multiply quantity into rate, it will give us the cost. So for finding out the cost, or for finding out the estimate, the quantities are also required. So estimate involves the process of calculating the quantities first. So as you can see here, the cost will require quantity and rate. So estimation is a process of calculating quantities of various items of work. So various items of works are this. We have to calculate the quantities first, and if we know the quantities, the rate we can get from a market or from some contractor. So if we have a quantity, if we have a rate, we can find out the cost. So estimation is the process of calculating not just cost but also the quantity of various items of work. So basically estimate will involve the estimation of quantity of various items of work, and the estimation of cost of a particular project. So how will you find out the estimate? So estimate of cost is done by calculating the quantities and the rate. Okay, so how will you find out the quantities now? We'll have to find out quantity, right? So if we consider one example of some automobile industry, so how will you find out the cost for 10 cars? Yes, how will you find out the cost for 10 cars? Let's say, for example, I have to buy some i10 car, and for i10 car, I have to buy 10 cars for my company, and the rate for that i10 car or the cost per unit quantity of i10 car is, let's say, 7 lakh rupees. So 7 lakh will be your rate. So rate will be 7 lakh rupees and quantity is 10 numbers. So 10 numbers into 7 lakh. So it will give me the cost of 70 lakhs. Correct. So estimation of cost is nothing but quantity into rate. So likewise, we have to find out in a construction project, we have to find out the cost for excavation, quantity of excavation into rate for doing excavation work. That will give me the cost for excavation. Likewise, how will you find out the cost for plastering? So for plastering, quantity of plastering is measured in terms of meter square. So this will be, let's say, quantity of plastering in meter square we have to find out, and the rate we can get from a market, or we can find out the rate also. So if we know these two things are most important things to calculate any type of estimate. So quantity you will require and you will require the rate. So what will be the purpose of this estimating? So first of all, we will see the very first purpose of a estimation, and that is to ascertain the necessary amount of money which is required by a owner to complete a proposed work. So for a proposed work, we will require certain amount, and that amount we can find out from the estimating. If we know the what type of work we need to perform, so as we seen previously also, so various activities are there, and if we know the various activities, we can find out the quantity and we can multiply it by the rate, so we can get the total cost of a project. So this estimating will help us to get or calculate the necessary amount which is required for completion of a particular project. So as we have seen previously in our last slide only, the various activities are there. So we can find out the cost for various activities. So cost for various activities can be found out, and if we know the cost of various activities, we can find out the cost of a particular project also. So if we add all these things, so we can get the total cost which is required for a particular project, right? If we know the cost of a particular project, it will help us in taking some administrative approvals, or it will help us in getting the funds from the higher authorities. So we want to be some higher authority wants to build something, some, let's say, some factory he wants to build, and for that he has given you a task to calculate the cost of a particular project. He is saying to find out the budget of this particular project. So you have calculated or you have prepared the estimate. So from estimating, you have got the cost for various activities, and once you have given for, let's say, some factory building, you will require let's say 3 crore rupees. So you have given your estimate. So your estimate is for factory building is let's say 3 crore rupees. So you have given the estimate to higher authorities. So higher authorities will do what? He will or they will check that particular estimate, and if they think whatever this 3 crore is there, if it is fitting in their budget, then they will approve that particular project. Okay, so estimate will go to higher authorities, and higher authorities will take a decision regarding the allotment of funds, and they will give or they will provide a sanctions to that particular project. So once if you know the estimate, you will it will help you in taking some approvals and sanctions and it will help you in getting the funds from the higher authorities. Okay, so higher authorities, if they are satisfied, there will be two scenarios: if they are satisfied, if they are not satisfied. So what will be the options? If this 3 crore is less than their budget, then they will approve the particular project, and this 3 crore is greater than their budget, then they will disapprove the particular project. Then what is the next point? It will help you to calculate the number of different types of workers required for a particular project. Let's say you want to calculate the estimate for, let's say, excavation work. So there is a task of calculating the estimate for excavation. So what data you will require? Can I say quantity of excavation and the rate of excavation? So rate of performing excavation. So if you know these two things, can you find out the cost for excavation? Yes. So you can find out the cost for excavation. So from here you can find out the quantities. So let's say you have worked out the quantities as 500 meter cube of excavation is required for a particular project. Okay, so how can you find out how many number of different types of workers which are required? Or let's say this is 50 m cube. So let's say this is 50 m cube. 50 meter cube of excavation needs to be done, and you have one labor who can do 2 meter cube of excavation per day. So how many labors will be required? Can you find out? If you hire 25 labors, it will solve your problem. You can do 50 meter cube of excavation in a one day only, right? Okay, so we'll see next point. And the next purpose of estimate is it will find out, or it will help in estimating the time required for a particular activity. So how it will, yes, somebody is saying also it gives us an idea about time required for completing a project, and the next point is exactly the same. So it will give us the idea about the exact time required for a particular activity. So just now we have seen the example for it. Let's say 500 meter cube of excavation needs to be done. You have 25 labors, and per labor 2 meter cube per day is done. So you can find out the time required for a particular activity, and that is 20 days. So likewise we can find out the time required for each and every activity. So this is for excavation, so we can find out for PCC, we can find out for RCC, everything. Okay, so let's say PCC work is there, 100 meter cube of PCC needs to be done, and we can do 20 meter cube of PCC per day. So we can calculate the time required for PCC work. So time required for PCC work will be 5 days. So it will help us in finding out the time required for each and every activity. And can I say, if I find out the time required for each and every activity, can I make a schedule from it? So the next purpose will be, it will help us in making or preparing a schedule for a particular project. Okay, right? So let's say there is one project. So let's say we are denoting it as project A. So there are 3 activities: excavation, then RCC and PCC. Okay. So excavation requires 20 days. PCC will require 5 days. Sorry, PCC will require 5 days, and RCC will require 25 days. So how can you prepare a schedule from this data? What three things are required? One is the activities. Which are the activities? So excavation, PCC, RCC, 3 activities are there. If you know the activities, if you know the time also, so 20 days are required, then 5 days are required, and 25 days are required. So can you just prepare a schedule from this? Yes. If you know the activities, if you know their relationship, so what is the relationship between excavation and PCC work? Unless excavation is complete, you cannot start with PCC work. unless PCC is complete, you cannot start with RCC work, right? So for excavation, we will require 20 days. Once this activity is complete, then only we can go for PCC work. So after 20 days, PCC work will start. It will take how many days? 5 days for its completion. So unless this PCC work is complete, you cannot go for RCC work. So RCC work will start on which day? 26th day. So 20 plus 5 plus 25. So it will give us the project duration of 50 days, right? So if we know the activities, if we know the relationship between the various activities or interdependency between various activities, and the number of days also we know, then we can prepare a schedule from this particular thing. Okay, so what is the next point? It will help us in timely procurement of a material. So how can you justify this? So just now we have made some schedule, and that schedule is project A is there, and in which various activities are there like excavation, PCC, RCC. So on which day you will require the material related to PCC? You will be doing or performing the PCC work on 25th. Let's say this project will be starting from 1st of August. So August 1st is the starting date of excavation. So PCC work will be starting on 21st of August. So after 5 days, your PCC work will also get over, and RCC work will start on which day? 26th of August. Correct. So we know at what time which material should be there. So now the next purpose of preparing the estimate, it is that it will help us in getting or arranging the funds required according to the program of or a schedule. So the next thing is it will help you in getting or arranging the funds required according to the program or a schedule. So we have just discussed one example that 1st of August excavation will start, and 20th of August PCC will start, and 25th of August RCC will start, and let's say 50 days means August September. So 20th of September, what will happen is RCC work will be completed. Okay, so once this chart is there or once this schedule is there, so once this excavation work is completed on 20th of August, so this is August and this is September. So once this excavation is completed on 20th of August, the contractor related to excavation will come to you and he will ask for money because he has done the work which was necessary to complete your project. So he will come on 20th of August to ask for money. So you will have to arrange that fund. Then it will help us in, it is the first task of any project, and that is nothing but to invite the tender or to invite the contractors to do your work. What is actually a tender? Tender is nothing but a notice or the invitation for giving the quotations. So what will happen is, let's say there is some G+7 structure that you want to build, and for G+7 structure there are various activities. So you will just float a tender or you will just float a notice that I want to actually build this G+7 structure, and for which these many various activities are there. And what you will give is, there will be one table or a chart, let's say some description is there. So description will have all the activities. Then unit of measurement will be there. So unit of measurement will depend on the type of activity which is there. So excavation के लिए meter cube, PCC meter cube, plastering and painting and flooring, everything will be in the terms of meter square. Then there is some running meter unit is also there. So depending on activity, there will be units which will differ. Okay. Then this tender document will provide you with the quantities also. So various activities are there, A, B, C, D, whatever is there. So these activities are there, and they will provide you the quantities also. So in terms of meter square, meter cube, running meter, so it will provide you 50, 20, 30, whatever quantity is there. And they will ask you for the rates. So there are various contractors, those who will do a type of work. So they will just give their rates. Okay. So whenever any contractor is filling this particular form, the last thing will be the amount. So what is the this particular thing? They are just calculating the cost which is given by each and every contractor. So let's say there are few contractors. So X contractor is there, Y contractor is there, contractor is there. So each and every contractor will provide the different rates. So X contractor will have 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees. So XYZ is there. So XYZ contractors will provide XYZ rates. So whatever the rate is suitable for you, that you will consider, and you will allot that particular contract to that particular contractor. So if you think X is doing or performing your particular work in a least possible amount or least possible budget, then you will allocate this contract to the X contractor. So least amount or the least cost is there, so you will choose that particular contract. So for this particular tendering process also, you will require the quantities. If you can see over here, you will require the quantities. And how will you get the quantities? You will get the quantities from estimation. Okay. So the last thing will be, once that contractor has done their particular activity, they will come for a payment. And once that activity is done, you will check what amount of work that he has done, and accordingly you will make the bill payment. So these are few purposes of a particular estimation. Okay. So the next thing is, what kind of data is required for preparing the estimate. So you will require a detailed survey and drawings. Okay. So drawings are required. You will require a survey of a particular site. And this, for preparing the estimate, that you will require drawings and specifications. Is estimate is the actual cost of a project?
After estimating, it is the actual cost, but as construction work is carried out, a number of factors will come into consideration, and the estimate will vary at every point of time. For example, sometimes it will get delayed. Some materials will be used more than what is estimated in the documents and everything. So it will vary.
So it is a probable cost of a project. So estimate can never be an actual cost, because we cannot predict each and every thing that will happen on a site. Let's say there is one accident. Can we predict the accident beforehand? No, right? Something may go wrong and some accident can happen. Okay. So for accident, there will be some cost which he will have to pay. There will be some damage to a construction, or there will be damage to some structure. So he will have to repair that structure. All those things he will not keep in mind while planning the things. So the next thing that we will see is what different types of estimates which are there. Okay. So these are the various types of estimates. So preliminary estimate is there, or approximate estimate is there, then detailed estimate is there, revised estimate, supplementary estimate, annual repair and maintenance estimate. So different types of estimates are there, and we will discuss this one by one.